My name is Shira Wilson. I am a wedding and lifestyle photographer. I've been married for about 6 months now. I met my husband 3 years ago. We dated for about a year and a half, and now we're married. And we have an adorable fur baby. His name is Heiser. We just got him a few weeks ago. If you hear tinkling, that's him walking around the room. Let's see. Okay, questions. The first question is, how long have you been doing photography? I got started with photography in high school. I was around 9th or 10th grade. But in the beginning, it was mainly just art photography and, taking pictures for friends, senior pictures and things like that. It wasn't until about 4 years ago that I decided that I wanted to try and pursue it as a business. So I've been doing it for about 4 years. What area are you in? I am in the West Memphis, Marion, Arkansas area. Like 15 minutes from Memphis, about 2 hours from Little Rock. Who is your target market? That kind of depends. I do weddings mostly. I get a lot of inquiries about that, about weddings and engagement pictures and things like that. But I also enjoy family pictures and seniors and all that. When I do senior pictures, it's mostly girls. So I guess girls and women would be, my target area. I try to make sure that girls feel beautiful. A lot of times they feel like they shouldn't have their picture taken, or because they don't look like, their friends or girls in magazines and things like that. But I feel like it's the photographer's responsibility to let them know that you deserve to have your picture taken too. You deserve to feel beautiful. How can people get a hold of you? My contact information and everything is on my website. It's on my Facebook page. My website is shiramariephoto.com. But then people can also email me at shiramariephoto@gmail.com. And my phone number is also on my website and all that. So there's several different ways that you can contact me you can call me, you can text me, email me, message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram, which is Shira Marie Photo. That's my handle on there. There's lots of different ways to get in contact with me. What is your best memory shooting? Let's see. It was last summer. I did an elopement, and that was amazing. I absolutely loved it. If I could do elopements just all the time, I would be incredibly happy. It was a young couple in Memphis. They were engaged and they wanted to, have a wedding, but they didn't want all the stress and the hassle of planning a wedding and, how expensive it is to do all that. And so they got married in the park. It was incredible. It was her and her mother and her sister and his mother were there, and they had someone to officiate the wedding. And it was on a really pretty day. It was kind of cloudy, and then it started drizzling just a little bit, and so it was incredible. It was amazing. It was a really sweet and intimate moment, and I was just thrilled to be a part of it. It was amazing. Like I said, if I could shoot elopements just all the time, I would be incredibly happy. because I feel like it's a much more, it's a more tender than, a big, huge ceremony and all that. Which those can be, it all depends on the couple. You really felt the love that they had between each other. So that was why I liked it. What is your worst memory? I think my worst memory would have to be the very first wedding that I shot. It was horrible. I didn't want to do it, but it was a friend of mine getting married, and he convinced me to shoot his wedding. I kept telling him, like, I've never done this before, I don't want to. And so he had another photographer there, but he still wanted me to shoot too. And he was trying to do a nice thing to help me get some experience, which I'm truly grateful for that. But it was horrible. The other photographer, I don't think he wanted me there. His wife, she wasn't very nice to me. It was just a terrible, horrible experience. The whole day was awful. I hated the way the pictures turned out, and I swore that day that I would never shoot another wedding again. But fortunately, I did. Now it's my favorite thing to do. I absolutely love shooting weddings. So, let's see. What is one thing not very many people know about you? I'm not sure. There's probably a lot of things people don't know about me. I'm a very shy, very quiet person. Um, that would probably be something that people don't know. I'm very, very quiet and very conservative. A lot of people, they feel like I'm very outgoing and outspoken. I'm not. I'm very, very quiet. I don't know. That is a really difficult question for me to answer. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that one. How do you play a role as a photographer in the Values First movement? That is something that is really important to me. I see so many photographers, online on Facebook. They post ads in Craigslist and everywhere all the time, and they prey on young girls and inexperienced models, and they tell them, that they'll, take these pictures of them, and a lot of times, in my opinion, they exploit them. You don't have to get undressed to take headshots. If that's what you want to do, if that's the type of modeling that you are trying to get into, then, you do what you want. But it's not required for every model to do that. And I feel like a lot of photographers, there's a lot of them who, they aren't true photographers. They are inexperienced themselves, and they exploit these girls because they know, they need pictures, they need headshots and all that, and so they might not have, the money to get, fancy pictures or a professional, but you don't have to do that. And I really hate that a lot of photographers do that to women. And yeah, I feel like, as I said earlier, it's my responsibility to make sure that women feel beautiful and make sure that they feel good about themselves. And you should. You don't have to be undressed to be beautiful or to book jobs. It's not at all required. So, but that's just, my opinion. Have you ever been asked to shoot something against your values as a photographer? No, I haven't, fortunately. I could see how that would, be a thing, because it's not just photographers who try to exploit people. Sometimes models do try to, do things or get photographers to do things, that you might not be comfortable doing, or say a company wants you to do something. But yeah, fortunately, so far, I have not experienced that, so hopefully it stays that way. What advice can you give other photographers who may be starting out in the industry to stay true to their values when asked to do a shoot? I'm not sure. I guess you know what you believe. Stick to that. A lot of times things can be done, can be asked, in the moment. You might not be thinking about it, and you might just quickly answer. And then later on, you realize, oh my goodness, like, what did I just agree to? What am I doing? Try to think of scenarios that you are not comfortable with, and you think of this stuff, and you try to you formulate answers and responses and all that to this. So if a situation comes up, then you already know. You don't have to even really think about it, like what you feel about it, or if you're going to do it. You automatically know, no, I can't do this. I don't feel comfortable because blah, blah, blah. So you don't have to, you won't feel unsure. You'll be able to confidently say, I can't do this because it doesn't make me feel comfortable. Next question. Can you lend any advice to models just starting out to stay true to their values? I think kind of the same thing. Think about what you are not comfortable doing and stick to that. Think of your response. So in case someone asks you to do something that you're unsure about or you don't feel comfortable doing, think of responses. So if the time comes, you'll know what to say. You won't have to hesitate. You'll be able to confidently say, no, I can't do this. It doesn't make me feel comfortable because blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that would be the most important thing. And stick to that. And don't try to, make them feel better about it. I tend to have that problem. If someone asks me something I don't feel comfortable doing or I don't want to do, I make excuses, or I'll try to give them the benefit of the doubt, which a lot of times, you can, but not in every situation. Every person doesn't have, a good story or a good answer. Sometimes it really is just a bad motive. So you have to, you have to know what you're going to do and stick to that. Because people will try to take advantage of you, especially if you're like me and you're really, really nice. Let's see. Let's go back to the question before. What is one thing not very many people know about you? That's still a really hard question, but I not a lot of people know how I feel, I guess, about values and morals and all that. I believe that it's really important for girls and women to be modest, um, especially young girls. It's so much happening now with girls, and a lot of people don't understand how the way you dress it can affect. I mean, it's not at all an excuse for things that happen, but it can affect it. It shouldn't. The way someone chooses to dress, it doesn't at all give anyone the right to treat them a certain way. But I don't know. We don't want. A lot of young girls are overly sexualized, and a lot of teenage girls and even younger, they feel like they have to do this or they have to dress this way to get boys or anyone to like them. And people treat them like something's wrong with them if they don't do this, if they don't dress that way, if they don't act, like this. And I don't feel that that's right. I don't know, a girl, especially a young girl, should be able to be a kid, to be a girl, a teenage girl. I don't know. Girls should be able to just be girls. They shouldn't have to be women when they're 13. So, anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, all of my contact information and everything is on my website and my Facebook page, Shira Marie Photo. You'll be able to find me. That's my handle pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, all that. So, have a good day.